The galaxy slept in peace. For almost 100 years, humanity had lived without war. They had built colonies on distant worlds, planted forests on barren moons, and watched their children grow under alien suns. The stars had become their new home. But peace, as always, never stays forever. Far beyond the core worlds, there was a small colony named Epsilon Prime, a quiet place filled with farmers, miners, and dreamers. The people there believed they were safe. No one had seen war for generations. Children played under twin suns, and old men told stories about Earth, the world most had never seen. Then one night, everything changed. The stars above Epsilon Prime flickered, then vanished behind massive dark shapes. Alien ships, silent, cold, and huge, appeared in the sky. They came without a signal, without a warning. And when they spoke, it was only through fire. Explosions ripped through cities. Skies turned red. The aliens destroyed everything: homes, defenses, even hospitals. In a few hours, millions were dead. The colony's last transmission was a single broken message sent to Earth. They came out of nowhere. "Help us." And then, silence. When Earth received the message, the Council of Nations gathered in shock. The aliens had called humanity weak. They thought humans would cry, hide, and surrender. But humanity never forgot pain. And when they lose family, they fight back. In the dark halls of the Terran Command, the alarm lights turned red. Officers began to move. Generals stood from their seats. Somewhere deep under the earth, a voice whispered, "Wake the fleet." The silence was over. The storm was coming. When the message from Epsilon Prime reached Earth, everything stopped. The news spread like wildfire. The people of Earth watched in silence as images of burning cities and falling colonies flashed across every screen. No one spoke. No one breathed. But inside every human heart, something old and dangerous began to wake: anger. In the heart of Earth's defense network, deep under the mountains, alarms roared to life. Red lights filled command centers that had been quiet for decades. Officers ran through long corridors while old war codes were unlocked after a century of peace. The words no one had heard for generations echoed again: "Initiate Project Retribution." Across the solar system, the sleeping giants of humanity began to rise. Massive shipyards on Mars lit up as engines powered on. The icy moons of Jupiter shook as hidden hangars opened, revealing rows of silent battleships waiting for their call. Each one was old, scarred, but powerful, built in a time when humanity feared extinction. In orbit, the great AI command Helios came online. Its voice filled every communication channel. Authorization confirmed. Terran Fleet Protocol active. Humans from every world volunteered. Soldiers, engineers, even civilians. They all wanted one thing: justice. No one forced them. They came because the stars had taken their people, and they would not forgive. One by one, the ships rose from their docks, engines burning bright against the void. 500,000 warships, humanity's fury given shape and fire. As they gathered in formation, the voice of the Supreme Commander echoed across the fleet. For Epsilon Prime. For humanity. And for the first time in 100 years, the galaxy trembled again. The Terran fleet hung in the darkness of space like a steel storm waiting to be unleashed. 500,000 warships, silent, armed, and ready. From Earth to the edge of Mars' orbit, the night sky glowed with the blue fire of engines. Humanity had not gathered such power in centuries. Every screen across the colonies showed the same image: the fleet rising. At the center of it all stood the flagship TFS Valiant, a giant fortress of metal and light. Inside its command deck, Supreme Commander Arya Kane looked out the window, her face calm but her eyes cold. She had lost her sister on Epsilon Prime. For her, this war was not politics. It was personal. "Begin the transmission," she ordered. Across every known star system, a signal echoed. Strong, clear, and human. It was the first message sent from Earth since the massacre. "To the unknown enemy who attacked our people," Arya's voice said, "you believed humanity was weak. You believed we would break. You were wrong. We remember every scream, every flame, every name. You have awakened something far greater than you understand. We are coming, and we will not stop." Billions watched that message. Some wept, some cheered, and some, even among alien species, and felt fear, because they had seen what humanity could do when united. Back in deep space, the alien council received the message. Their screens flickered with the image of human battleships forming up, shining like a new constellation of war. Their leader whispered, "It cannot be. The humans still live?" But they were too late. The storm had already started to move. The void between stars began to burn. One by one, humanity's warships left orbit, forming a massive spear of light that stretched across the black sea of space. 500,000 engines roared in perfect rhythm, each flame a promise of revenge. This was not just a fleet. It was the heartbeat of a species that refused to die. The alien worlds that once ignored humanity now watched in silence. Their governments debated, their armies trembled. They had never seen such power move as one. The humans had built their ships for defense, but now those same ships carried fury and purpose. Inside the TFS Valiant, Commander Arya Kane stood before a massive holographic map of the galaxy. The coordinates of the enemy homeworld blinked in red. Around her, admirals and AI units discussed tactics, fleet routes, and warp gates. Every plan, every order was focused on one goal: justice for Epsilon Prime. "Engage warp sequence," Arya commanded. The engines screamed as space folded around them. Stars stretched into lines of light. The entire Terran armada disappeared into hyperspace, leaving behind only silence and the faint echo of their departure. In the alien empire's capital, panic spread. Reports arrived too late. Human probes had already entered their territory. Communications failed. Satellites went dark. The aliens realized too late that this was not a battle. It was an invasion. When the first human warships emerged near the alien frontier, the night sky exploded with light. Energy cannons charged, shields glowed, and the void turned into a battlefield. Commander Arya's voice filled the comms. No mercy. No retreat for Epsilon Prime. And then the first shot was fired, bright, blazing, and final. The first battle shook the stars. Human warships appeared across the alien border like a storm breaking through a wall. Their arrival was sudden and terrifying. The aliens tried to fight back, but their fleets were scattered and confused. They had never faced an enemy so focused, so silent, so united. The Terran fleet moved like a single living being. Every ship knew its place. Every commander knew their goal. The TFS Valiant led from the front, cutting through alien defenses with precision fire. Blue beams of plasma tore across the darkness, lighting up shattered hulls and broken stations. For the first time, the alien empire saw what human rage truly meant. Their communication lines failed within hours. Cities on outer planets went dark. The humans did not kill without reason, but they destroyed every weapon that stood in their way. Commander Arya Kane stood at the bridge, eyes fixed on the glowing red dot that marked the alien capital. Her voice was calm but heavy. "They burned our people alive. Now they will learn what it means to face humanity." The final push began. The Terran fleet broke through the last defense ring. Alien admirals screamed orders that no one could follow. Their ships exploded before their words reached anyone. In the skies above their homeworld, human warships formed a circle of fire. Then came the broadcast, a single message sent to every alien frequency. This is not conquest. This is justice. As the last alien flagship fell, the fires of battle faded. Silence returned to space once more. Not peaceful silence, but the kind that follows when vengeance is complete. Humanity had spoken, and the galaxy would never forget their voice again. The war was over. The alien empire that once ruled with fear now lay in ruins. Their great fleets drifted silently in the void, broken and forgotten. The stars that once burned red with warlight were calm again. Humanity had done what no one thought possible. They had faced extinction and turned it into victory. The Terran fleet returned home, engines dim but hearts unbroken. As each ship entered Earth's orbit, billions of people looked up to the night sky, whispering names of those who never returned. Across the planet, cities glowed with celebration and tears. Humanity had survived, but at a cost that could never be measured. Commander Arya Kane stood on the observation deck of the TFS Valiant, watching Earth rise beneath her. The world looked peaceful again, but she knew peace was fragile. She thought of her sister, of Epsilon Prime, of the people who had trusted the stars and lost everything. A soft voice came from behind, the AI Helios. "Commander, what shall we do now?" Arya smiled faintly. Now, she said, we rebuild. But this time, not just for us, for everyone who still believes in light. And so, the Terran Federation began a new mission, not of war, but of unity. They sent help to worlds once ruled by fear. They rebuilt cities, healed wounds, and shared knowledge. Even some alien survivors joined them, learning what humanity had always known. That strength was not born from power, but from pain and hope. Years later, people would tell the story of that war, how humanity was tested, broken, and reborn in fire. They would call it the day the stars remembered. Because that was the day humanity answered the call